Welcome to the It's UATL podcast, your guide to Black culture in Atlanta. I'm Naja Parker.
I'm Nedra Roan.
I'm Deasia Page.
All right, ladies, I have a question for you this week. What's a song that you cannot get out of your head?
That's easy for me.
Okay.
Because I just saw the Michael Jackson movie. So pretty much anything by Michael.
You got a favorite Michael song?
Ooh, PYT is one of my favorites. Can't Help It is another favorite. One of my top three. And probably Human Nature.
Yes, those are good. Deasia, what's stuck in your head this week?
I'm a little embarrassed to share mine is, but it's BBW by Drake.
BBW?
Yeah, it stands for Big Breasted Women.
I figured it was
as
something
we
like
know
that.
Drake is a longtime lover of big breasted women.
I don't think I knew.
I didn't know that either.
No, yeah, that's definitely a part of his lore. Definitely.
Has he said that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The song is definitely for the twerkers of the
Okay,
world. And so
okay.
that's why I like it. It makes me feel free. It's a form of escapism. It's a dance track. So yeah.
I love it.
What about you, Naja?
Mine is by a rap artist as well, but it's Big Crit. And he's got a song out called Back in 99. And it's from his latest album on the bonus side of it. And it's just vibey. It's really smooth. It's kind of melodic, real mid-pace, and something I can play on a loop. And it seems like Crit is obsessed with the year 1999 because he's got another song with Lloyd that I think is called 1999. But this song is called Back in 99. So it was a good year. I was only 9, so I don't remember everything from that year. But youthfulness and Powerpuff Girls and maybe a little Juvenile, back that ass up because that was a thing.
Yes. That was the song. That was.
Okay, y'all. Thank you for sharing that. That was fun. Now that we've done that, let's talk about this week's show. So we are wrapping with our girls from the Poor Minds podcast. Plus, we'll tell you why we can't stop thinking about the movie Is God Is. But first, it is time for the rundown for Black culture news in ATL and beyond making headlines. I got the first topic today, and we want to honor a Spelman night. One of Spelman's very own professors has earned the High Museum's top honors. Her name is Cheryl Finley, and she's been selected as the museum's 2026 David C. Driscoll honoree. So the award is named after the late David C. Driscoll, whose work focused on a lot of African diaspora. So this award specifically highlights individuals who advance Black American culture within the art industry. And she really fits the bill. She's an art historian, a curator, a contemporary art critic. She's also the inaugural director of the AUC's Art History and Curatorial Studies Collective. So this is a new position she's in. She's also been a professor at Wellesley College, which is her alma mater, as well as Cornell University. And she's especially being recognized for community building, especially among students. She did this partnership between students and big brands like Louis Vuitton, Moet Hennessy, LV, how do you say it? LV, whatever the letters are. LVMH.
I'm like, how you say what? Louis Vuitton?
Louis Vuitton, but the other letters I always just leave out because I don't really know.
You said it right.
Okay. So the prize comes with $50,000 and she'll be honored in September at the High Museum's Gala.
Nice.
Yeah. So we got some artists being recognized, which I feel like is always a good thing.
Right. She's also an author too, right?
She's written some books, some articles. She's got a resume that is extensive.
Yeah. I love a celebration of Black art. That's so nice. I always look forward to hearing who the prize winner is.
All right, Nedra, what we got next?
In other art news, the Getty Foundation has given a $220,000 grant to Auburn Avenue Research Library. They'll be helping the institution continue to preserve Black artistic culture and history. The grant will specifically be used to preserve and digitize collections from artists like Mary Parks Washington. She's an artist who used personal items like family insurance policies, photos, and other things to create works of art. And the Auburn Avenue Research Library is one of 8 institutions that will share a total of $1.8 million in grants from Getty. The others are one of my favorites, Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History in Detroit. There's another Berkeley Art Museum and Pacific Film Archive. The library will also use funding to highlight collections from the Neighborhood Art Center, which operated from 1975 to 1990 as a space for Black artistry and creativity. And there will also be some support for the National Black Arts Festival, which began in 1988 here in Atlanta and continues today. So what do y'all think about that?
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad this type of investment is being made in, Black art, given we're sort of in this anti-DEI
Yes.
era.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Whenever I think about the support that goes to museums and preserving culture, I always think of my, 2 years was it now?
Yeah.
The museum tour that,
yes.
of
I
the
thought of that.
Southeast.
with your daughter. Yeah.
Yes. And I, just doing that and seeing all the different ways in which people are using grants like this to preserve and further Black art and culture is always very close to my heart. So my daughter actually said to me the other day that they are studying something in school. It was something in school, and she was like, and I already knew it because I went on the museum tour. And I was like, yes.
I will be
That
patting
was the
myself
point.
on the back.
I was like, yes, you did. So anyway, so good to see that. Good to see money still flowing into these institutions, which, often struggle to get funding. So
Yeah, the last time I went, which was a couple years ago, was for a book author talk. So
Yeah.
to your point about the programming, an author whose name I'm forgetting, so he can cut. It was a packed house for that particular author talk. So yeah, we got a lot of field trips. I feel like our list of
I know,
things
right?
to do
We need to
together
keep
is
a list,
growing.
actually.
Yeah. It's so many things we need to do as a group at this point.
I agree. It's summertime. We can be outside.
we can,
Yeah.
for sure.
Well, speaking of being outside,
Summertime.
are y'all ready for FIFA that's happening in less than a month?
I'm gonna go with no.
What should we do to prepare?
What? I don't know.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not even prepared myself, honestly. I went downtown recently and I was a little bit overstimulated already. But if you want to enjoy some live entertainment while enjoying the games, the FIFA Fan Festival will be here too. They just dropped the lineup, or the first round of artists on their lineup, which includes CeeLo Green, Nappy Roots, and Davido. Obviously, CeeLo Green and Davido were born in Atlanta, and Nappy Roots are a Southern rap group. So what do y'all think of that list of artists?
So this is in Centennial Olympic Park, right?
Right, it is.
All right,
Yes.
got it. I like Afro beats.
You just made it so general, Brian. Like,
I don't know that I know all the
Understood.
artists very well, but that sounds compelling to me. I don't
I'm with
know.
you on that,
What do you
Nedra. I too am not as familiar with some of the artists they've announced so far, but I know they're popular, so I think it'll bring crowds for sure.
Right.
And like Dea just said, this is just the first round of announcements, so I'm looking forward to seeing who else is going to be here for the festival.
Yeah. And I think other artists on the lineup so far include Hero the Band, a group from Decatur, and Kat Graham, who I primarily know her as an actress.
actress, yes.
But allegedly she does pop R&B and
Not
EDM.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I know her from the Vampire Diaries. That's
Right.
where
Okay.
I know her from. But yeah, I didn't know she was from here either. She's no, she lives in Decatur. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't know if she's from here. She lives in Decatur.
I'm surprised that it looks like it's multi-day. I thought it was
Yeah.
so it's like over 18 days.
Yeah, and they have not released like an official schedule of like who's going to be, on which day, which is kind of alarming because we're less than a month away
yeah, right.
from
June
this.
11th.
So, and then just announcing the first round of artists now, it's like, okay, it seems like it's just like much like everything else with this FIFA planning in Atlanta. Things are
Last
delayed.
They have packages, so there is a free entry package, but then you can also upgrade if you want to and pay $45 to $65
for
like
VIP.
private restrooms and
Okay.
bar access. And then there's a VIP package
Oh.
that's even more expensive than that, where you get everything we just listed plus some free alcohol.
Wait a second. So let me get it straight. It is free. You just have to register.
Correct.
Then you can get a toilet
What? Oh,
You could get what they're calling
And
like
then
a
you could get VIP. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So choose your fighter. I don't know.
yeah.
But it's not just going to be music either. You get to watch the games there, and there are going to be other games that you can play and other cultural programming. So it seems like it could be a good time if this is your kind of thing. Now, is it my kind of thing? Not really, and that's okay.
Right.
But yeah, enjoy for those who want to go to this. Hope you all enjoy it. It's around the corner, so you better get ready.
Okay, y'all. Now it's time to get into our main segment where Nedra and I sit down with the host of the very popular Poor Minds podcast. All right. We got a guest today. Okay, y'all. So if you are familiar with that little chant, you know who we're talking to. We have the host of the hit podcast, Poor Minds, Drea Nicole and Lex P. They're both from Houston, but currently live here in Atlanta. And on their show, they talk about their experiences with dating, friendships, and personal growth while sipping on their favorite drink. Mm-hmm. They describe it as having a good old drunk therapy session with your friends. Now, we wish we could be sipping with them today, but we're on the clock and the AJC said no.
We did try. We tried.
The coffee is doing good.
Okay, they'll have to
we
do
got
it.
a little water. Cheers.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. How y'all feeling?
We feel good. Thank you for having us.
Well, let's start all the way from the beginning. How did y'all come up with the idea from the show? What was happening in both your lives when you started this podcast?
Lex had just moved here from Houston because I was living here for like a year before she moved here. So she moved here. She was staying with me for like 6 months, I think. And whenever we would run into people when we would be out partying, having a good time, people would always tell us, y'all are so funny. Y'all need to record this and put it on the internet. And so it was kind of at the time where a lot of influencers were blowing up on YouTube with their YouTube channels. So we decided to start a YouTube channel, and we were just doing everything on a YouTube channel. We were cooking. We was doing makeup tutorials. Then one of her exes had gave her the idea for like a little show that we could do for like 20 minutes and kind of talk about hot topics and stuff. So we did that. We called it Wind Down Wednesday. Out of everything that we was posting on the YouTube channel, that's the thing that was getting the most views. And when I say the most, I mean like everything else was getting 5 views. That was getting like 100.
Okay.
So we was like, okay.
We was like, we made it.
We was like, okay, they like this. We gonna stick with this.
And what year was this?
This was 2017,
Yeah,
the
okay.
end of 2017. Wow. Yes, so then 2018 came. We were still doing Wind Down Wednesday, but one of her other friends who already had a popular podcast, she was like, y'all need to turn it into a podcast because y'all can monetize it more. So then that's when we tried to rebrand. We came up with a different name because Wind Down Wednesday wasn't really synonymous with us because when you would look up the hashtag, it was so much other stuff that would pop up.
I was gonna say
Competition.
that was in College Park.
Yeah. It was so many things that would pop up. So we were like, okay, we need something that's unique to us. So we came up with the name Poor Minds, and then we switched it over to a podcast.
Yeah,
But
I love that.
Yes. I mean, we used to literally, it's so funny when we talk about the beginning because it's so different now. Like, we used to record on her bedroom floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know what we was doing. The sound was awful. But we leave all those episodes up because a lot of times people are asking us, how to start a podcast. What do we need to do? And I'm like, there's no blueprint to this. I think with anything with content creation, being an influencer, there's no blueprint. I think what we have just done is just been ourselves and been consistent. So it's kind of hard to give people advice.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell them, what we did, but that may not work for you.
But that's cool. They can see your evolution.
Oh,
from when you
yeah,
started.
for sure.
That's good.
With the wigs that used to sit on top of my head. Oh, it's all there.
And some of the episodes was too bad, y'all. Like, we had to go back. Like, maybe a few months ago, we went back and we archived some of them.
I need an example of something you had to archive.
Well, remember I said we used to talk about hot topics. So obviously that's something we don't do anymore on Poor Minds. So just being young and crazy, saying stuff we shouldn't have been saying about people that we want to have on the show now.
Right. Because you don't want them to have to pull it up and be like, I remember when you said this.
What about when you said this about me?
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
How do y'all think, given that the episodes that were most popular were the ones where you were drinking?
That's
or had
cringy
wine-
too.
Right.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Why do you think that enhanced the show so much? What was it about that element?
Unfiltered conversations. I think that's the thing we all know about once you get a little liquor involved. You inebriated, you don't have that filter anymore, and you just gonna say whatever is on your mind. And especially mixing that with the fact that, again, we were really young when we started the show. We just ain't care, girl. We used to get on there and just say whatever, whenever.
But I think now the good thing about the show is, like, even though we still drink and have a good time, we're more aware of what we're saying, but we're still our raw, unfiltered selves.
Yeah.
We're just, we're grown women now. Like, I'll be 37 in August. So, of course, I'm not going to be saying the same crazy stuff I did when I was 28. But I'm still raw, unfiltered, and myself. And I think that's why our audience has been able to grow with us, because the people that were watching in the beginning, they're getting older too.
Yeah.
So it's like we're all figuring this out together. So that our audience is amazing. Shout out to the Poor Crew. Because they just, I think they get us. And I think that's important, is having listeners and supporters who really understand you and don't try to critique everything you do, because it's not like we're perfect. Like, we're trying to, nobody has life figured out. So that, I think that's what we do very well, is just like saying, like, hey, we're human beings and we're trying to figure this out just like you. We just happen to be doing it on camera.
Yeah. I think that's why people gravitate to you all, because you're so raw and unfiltered, and everybody doesn't want to see like the cleaned up version of life. I need to know that somebody ain't got it together like I ain't got it together.
We all live in the same life, different fonts.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. I'm still in that.
I like that one. How do you decide what you're going to drink on the episode? Because y'all are former bartenders, which is one of the reasons why we were kind of excited about maybe drinking. So we have real bartenders coming. They can mix something up for us.
Right.
So how do you decide what you want? Is it topic driven? Whatever.
Well, Lex was always more of the real bartender out of the two of us. I was more of a, cranberry and vodka girl. That's what you would come to me for, a little Henny and Coke. I got you. But honestly, we started the show off just drinking cheap wine. So we didn't really have no choice because we had no money.
That's all we could afford.
That's all we could afford at the time.
Big Daddy.
Yes. We used to drink cheap wine. And then, of course, as the show evolved and we started making more money and we could afford to have a bartender on the show, Lex and I, we love to go out and have a good cocktail. Like, we're the girls who, we gonna look at the menu. We're gonna try at least 3 different drinks when we go out to dinner. So we wanted our bartender to be somebody that was experienced, that could make real, like, crafted cocktails in the studio for us and our guests. So she actually picks the drinks every week. Yeah, we don't pick them, but she tries to always come up with something new, different, and curate it for whatever guest we have on that week.
Yeah, shout out to Ty. She's absolutely amazing.
She is.
Like, I have tried so many stuff, dehydrated apples from Morocco. I'm like, what is this, girl?
No, she goes hard. We did an episode the other day, just Lex and I, and she made some drink, and she said it was some kind of tea that she got from South Africa that she made a syrup with. Yeah, y'all.
It's very, like, I think a lot of times too, when people see the show, they don't realize how much production and things that go into it. And a lot of times when the guests even come, they're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And Ty, we always ask the guests what they drink, even if they don't drink. We had Ari Lennox on, and she doesn't drink. So she made like a crafted mocktail, like, that has no alcohol in it, but it still tastes good. So she gets in there and does her research. It's amazing. It's really
real
fun.
pro.
Because even Ari was like, are you sure they don't I'm not convinced.
Ty's drinks are so good. And even when they do have the alcohol in it, you can't taste it, so it'll sneak up on you. Ooh, that's why I be cutting up.
Dangerous. Is there a time that you've ever felt like the alcohol turned on you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've had to delete episodes, like I said. I mean, and not even just the old Wind Down Wednesday episodes, but even once we started Poor Minds and we changed the name and everything, it's a few episodes we had to delete because we was like, we can't leave this.
It's too much.
We're like, edit some stuff out.
Or we'll edit stuff out. We do that still to this day.
Oh, to this.
Well, that's what editing is for.
Right.
And then sometimes the guests will hit us up and be like, but one thing I will say, I think me and Drea have been doing this so long. Like, we will drink during the show, but we're pretty good at handling our liquor just because we know. So, but sometimes, like, some guests will come on. We be like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to take another? They're like, yeah, because it's fun and they want to turn up. But then we always send the episode beforehand. They be like, hey, but the thing is, we have to drop the episode.
Yeah.
We have ads. We have things that the episode just can't not drop. Right. So we try to edit it, but we always let the guests know, like, slow down, baby.
Yeah, we had a guest like last year who actually, they were so embarrassed of how they cut up on the show. They wanted us to delete the whole episode. Like, they was like, can y'all just not post this? And we had to give them the whole explanation of, we have to post the episode. We have sponsorships. We have ads. We can't not post it. And he was like, please, can y'all please just not post it? I'm so embarrassed. And then when it dropped, the audience looked.
Okay. It was funny.
It was funny.
Now, I know y'all are unfiltered and raw, but do you keep some personal experiences to yourself? And how do you decide what to put in the show and what to keep to yourself?
So, like, in the beginning, I felt like I was always more open and telling everything, but we had our little community, so I felt like it was a safe space. But now, you know, people are discovering us, and which is a great thing, but a lot of these people don't really know us. So sometimes I'll say something, but they don't realize I've changed a lot or I've changed my opinion. They be like, but you said this. Oh, but you're only like this. And they just be up in arms. So now I think I'm a lot more protective of, like, my personal life, specifically my family, things like that, because I have small nephews. Like, my sister does not like being in the spotlight at all. Okay. So I'm very careful when I post her or post my nephews, things like that. Even like my romantic life. I just feel like I just have a lot of exciting things about me that don't involve my personal life. So I can talk for hours, baby. So I'm a little good on oversharing now, you know?
Yeah. For me, it's always been pretty simple because I'm a real private girl. I don't be wanting people to know nothing about me. Okay. I just want you to see me and I just want to be here. You don't need to know none of my business. So it's always been kind of easy for me to be that way. But as I've gotten older, I actually have tried to become more transparent because I've realized that people can relate to you in a lot of ways, and you never know how you might be able to help somebody go through the things that they are currently going through or been through if you tell your story. And even, for example, like Lex and I have both been through a lot. We've been doing this show for 8 years now, I think. We've been doing this show for 8 years now. So we've both been through a lot of different changes in life, a lot of different versions of ourselves. I lost my dad. And initially, it was something that I didn't really want to talk about on the show. And then when I started opening up about it, I realized I was touching so many people and helping them get through the same situation.
I wonder if that was healing for you, too, in a way, to just kind of get it out of your body.
It is. It is. Because I do think when I was younger, I used to bottle things up a lot and feel like I just had to deal with it on my own. But talking to people and having people send you messages and tell you how you help them, it is really healing, and it helps you get through the process. Because grieving is a process. It comes in waves, like people always say. So
when you all are putting so much of yourselves out there, I imagine that you get some trolling and some nasty comments and lovely things like that. How do you deal with that? How do you manage it?
I ignore it now, but I used to cuss people out.
In the comments?
Yes. Yes.
That feels right.
I used to cuss people out all the time. Now that I'm older, more mature, I'm 35 now, I just ignore people and block them because a lot of the time, that's what they want. They're only doing it so they can get a response. Because I've had situations crazy enough where I went off on people and then they responded back and was like, oh my God, I love you. I just wanted you to say something to me.
Wow. And it's like, all the things you could have said, though.
Right. It's like, you're crazy.
Yeah. I'm chronically online. So I think I enjoy talking to people. So even if somebody says something negative, I do a good job. Like 90% of the time, I'm talking to the people who are being positive. I do respond to the negative comments sometimes, but I'm not more so of like, I'm going off on you. I'm just like, you know what? If you would just really watch the podcast, you would realize it's not what you think it is. A lot of times people see me and Drea and maybe how we look or how we talk, or if they just see a 30-second clip of a 2-hour show, they're judging us. I'm like, you know what? I bet you if you watch one episode, you're going to watch the whole thing straight through and be entertained. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, I just like showing people my personality and be like, you really don't hate me. You probably see myself in you. And I think a lot of times people be like, dang, they really had the audacity to follow their dreams. Like they really went out there and did it. And I think a lot of that hate that people have for us comes from, and I don't want to be like mean, but a lot of people are too scared or too ashamed or too afraid to chase their dreams.
Right.
So instead of supporting Black women who are doing that, they want to throw shade at us or be mean. But I've learned not to internalize that, because it's not about me. It's more so about them and how they feel about themselves.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we trolls too, girl. We be trolling people back. When people say crazy stuff to us, sometimes we'll say stuff back to them in a joking way and troll them too.
Yeah.
Women's empowerment is such a big theme on the podcast, which I love. Why is that so important to y'all?
It's important to me because I think women just need a safe space. And I think Lex and I have done a really good job of creating that. Like, it's so many different outlets online for men that I think empower men a lot. But especially us as Black women, we need a safe space where you can see women who can give you advice because they've been through what you're probably going through. Like I was saying earlier, I think it's been amazing that people can follow Lex and I's story and see it from conception to what we've built now, because I think it hit different when people are telling you that you could do it too, when you see them do it themselves.
And I think, like, Black women, like, we deserve to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, every time we speak online, they're like, well, what are your thoughts on this? And shout out to the women who do that are in the politics space. And because we need that. But we also, and no shade to anybody who creates content, we don't want to see people throwing drinks in each other's faces. Like, we want to see two Black women just having a good time. Like, when you get off of work, I want people to turn on Poor Minds and just be like, man, I'm finna pour me up some glass, cook dinner, and just laugh for the rest of the night. I feel like life is already hard enough as it is. So we wanted to create a community and even some men too. We have a large men audience too.
I was curious about that.
We do.
They start to sneak in.
Sometimes some men be a little mad at the comments y'all be making.
Sometimes they be like, man, they be mad at the clips. The men who actually watch the show be like, hey, bruh, oh, y'all talking about, it's kind of cool over here. So it's like the guys that actually watch the show, they really enjoy it.
They
for
do.
real, yeah.
Okay, y'all, it's time to take a break, but we'll be right back.
You all have talked about on past episodes celebrity podcasts and your feelings about those, which I share. Just
Let's
wondering,
get to it.
Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on the pod sphere at the moment, how things have changed and evolved as you all have been, doing this. What do you think?
I feel like I'm the person I don't try to say, oh, don't start this. I'm always like, okay, if there's a McDonald's right here, they're going to build that Chick-fil-A across the street. I don't believe in oversaturation, but I do believe that when you do anything, there should be passion and love in it. And I don't recommend anybody do things for money grabs. So I feel like a lot of times these celebrities are doing podcasts because they see, okay, this girl got a $10 million deal or $5 million deal. And they're like, you know what? I want a little some of that. No passion, no love, no drive behind it. But there are some celebrities, like Amy Poehler has an amazing podcast and she does very well, but you can see she has a passion for that, for interviewing, doing research, being an actual journalist with it, even though she doesn't have her degree in that. But you can see the passion in her podcast versus, maybe some who are just doing it because they're like, okay, we can get a deal and make some money and do like a little side hustle. So, and it's hard for us to compete with that. I'm not trying to be, but it's like when you see the top 100 podcasts, it's really not enough Black women in there. You look and it's like, it be me, Drea, and Keke Palmer. You know what I'm saying?
No, seriously.
And I'm just like, they keep saying to take our mics away, but it's not enough. But it's hard, like, if I'm starting a podcast and then Beyonce got a podcast, who you think they gonna listen to? You know what I'm saying? And no shade to B, I love you. I just use you as an example because I know she won't ever do that. But I think that I'm not mad at people who are starting like a passion project, but for people that do it for a money grab, even regular, normal people who do it for a money grab, it kind of takes away from the fun and the integrity of it, to be honest.
I just think it's so crazy how much podcasting has changed since we first started it to now, because I remember when we first started it, it wasn't even like a cool thing to do. Now you get online and everybody and their mama got a podcast. And then again, like you said, it's no passion behind it. Even with us, like we have degrees in mass communication. So we always knew we wanted to do something in the media space. We just didn't know exactly what we wanted to do. So us starting the podcast and it becoming successful just ended up being like a full circle thing. And again, not saying that people have to have the education behind it, but a lot of the time I just think people are just jumping into it, buying a mic and just starting a podcast and getting on the internet saying the most craziest dangerous things.
Yeah.
They rage bait.
Yes, they rage bait a lot.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that we've never done. If something goes viral, it's literally just because it goes viral. We have never been like, ooh, cut this clip because it's going to make them cut up, girl. Or, ooh, let's title this like this. Or let me say something I don't believe. Now, I do say some crazy stuff, but I believe it.
Just
I'm not saying it to rage bait. I really believe what I'm saying.
Nothing I don't mean.
You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because podcasting has been around forever. And even when we started it, it was old. Yeah. But when we started it, people were laughing at us. Like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah. It didn't really boom until after the pandemic, I feel like. Just when we just started seeing a surge of all of these people starting podcasting, especially the celebrities, like y'all were saying. So.
Now, y'all just mentioned that when you look at the list of top podcasts, there's not a lot of Black women on that list.
Yeah, no.
It's giving male-dominated, white male-dominated. How do you feel like y'all broke through all of that?
I think we broke through it because of the authenticity, like Lex was saying, but then also just us being consistent. Because it's not easy to be consistent with something, especially when you're not making no money. Yeah. If we gonna keep it real. Right. We didn't make money for the first 2 years that we were doing the podcast. And we finally got our first little $86 check. We was like, okay.
I was like, it's money.
Yeah. We was like, we on to something, but we stayed the course that whole 2 years, even when we weren't making money. And so I think that's kind of what got us here as well, because there's so many people who have had, over the years, I've seen people who have had amazing shows. And if they just would have stuck with it, they probably could have been as far as we are too. But it's just, I don't know why it's so hard for people to stay consistent with things.
And I kind of feel a little bit opposite. I don't feel like we have broke through. I think we have, on a scale of what the average person says what success is, right? We're able to live a very blessed life. You know, we're able to have a staff. We're doing well for ourselves. But on the grand scheme of things, what these white males are making, we haven't done anything. Yeah. We're barely scratching the surface. Now, are we moving and shaking? Absolutely, because we're doing a lot of things that podcasts, a lot of people in this space haven't done. Like, we had Travel Queens, which had nothing to do with Poor Minds. It was a completely different show, two friends traveling the world, and you really don't see podcasters getting the opportunity to do a television show. Right. So it's like we're still, and it's crazy, in 2026, we're still having to break these doors down. But on the grand scheme of things, we have a long way to go, because even the deals and the money that we're still getting offered, I'm like, dang. And then we'll give somebody a low price. We just had somebody yesterday
try to lowball
us for something, and it's like, no.
Yeah.
Because one thing about us, we're going to walk away from money now to prove a point and to be like, this is more valuable to you. That's why you have to pay us this number. Right. Because if you pay us this number, you're going to make quadruple that. The poor crew don't play. You know what I'm saying? And they know that we don't just do anything like advertising anything just because we want to. We have integrity. Like, this is a product that we actually use, or this is something that we actually stand by. So like, our word holds a lot of weight. So I think we are starting to know our value and learn that, you know, it's okay to walk away from things. But like, on the grand scheme of things, we ain't done nothing. Yeah. You know?
Do you see a shift at all in that? Like, are people having different conversations with you as you start to walk away from more of those, you know, things that are not on the level?
I think that because we're willing to walk away, a lot of the time it works out in our favor, and they end up coming back and being like, okay, let's do it for the number that y'all said. And so, to touch back on what you said as far as us not being where we should be or not really breaking through yet, I think that will be the reason why we will, though. Yeah. Because we're not going to just do anything just for the sake of doing it. Lex and I both have a goal in mind. We know what we want. We know what we feel like the show is worth. And we're not going to settle for anything less than that when it comes to getting a major deal, which is something that I do think is on the table and it's coming.
And we're okay with no's, because that's how it was in the beginning. Like, we wanted to work with so many people, and it's so funny now, because everybody was like, nah. And then
they be seeing us out. They be like, I'm so proud of y'all.
Are you? Right.
Are you?
Because you didn't say that 2 years ago.
Right. Exactly. So we got that one yes, and it's been up ever since. So we just need that one yes. You know what I'm saying? And I think for us, it's just kind of like, we've learned the power of saying no. Because when you say no, all of a sudden, we do have the budget. All of a sudden, the money appears, or whatever you feel like. It always appears. And like I said, we know our value. I think being in the industry, having a career as a Black woman is just like a relationship. You got to know your worth, and you got to know when you got to walk away sometimes. And it's gonna hurt, but in the long run, you be like, I'm glad that we said no, because we just know our value. And it's crazy because even the tour sold out in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
10 minutes, like crazy. Like we added another show, it sold out in 15 minutes. Like you cannot tell me that we're crazy for asking for what we're asking for, and then y'all handing other people quadruple what we're making. I saw a lawyer had posted yesterday on Instagram, and she was saying how it's actually, it bothered her. She was like, it's insane because working these deals for influencers and what they pay white influencers versus Black influencers, it's like, it's not like a small gap, it's a major gap. Like 100,000 for a white influencer who may have like 300,000 followers, and they'll pay a Black influencer $15,000 who has millions of followers. That's how big the pay gap is. So that's why I say I feel like we've done a lot, but we got a long way to go.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm glad y'all are talking about that, because I follow this one Black woman influencer online. Her whole content is about books and books you should read. And she had this very same conversation. She said, I got lowballed an offer from an author that I actually really admire, but I had to say no because I know my worth and I know my value. And I see that in y'all's professional life, but I love that you said it bleeds into your personal life too. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Only people I give deals to is if it's a Black woman who has a business and I'm like, you know what? Let's make this work. I'm rocking with you. Let's do this. And then the Black women who have a business and they do have the money, they gonna pay us.
Yeah, they usually the ones that pay the most.
They be looking out and making sure that we get paid what we worth. You know what I'm saying?
We have a lot of Black women sponsors on the show.
Yeah, so shout out to them.
Okay, now y'all have been honored by a couple of outlets. I'm thinking about Ebony's list of content creators redefining media, and also Hello Beautiful's 20 Black women dominating podcasting. How does it feel to be honored by these Black media outlets?
I think being recognized by, our peers really, and just in our own community, that means the most to me, because that's really who I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Like if the others, if they tune in, welcome. And I'm glad you're here, but you know what I'm saying? I don't discriminate, but it feels good to be recognized among other Black, people, and just magazines that we grew up reading, seeing, people we looked up to on the cover and stuff. So it's a good feeling. I feel like we have always been on the right path. No matter how many times we went viral or people were trying to cancel us. It's just
that happen often too.
Oh yeah, we always getting canceled now. But it just lets me know that it's bigger than us, and I think God just has a really, really big plan for us, and I just can't wait to see what we do, and then for the other little Black girls behind us that are going to be able to follow and do whatever they want, just because they're like, oh, Poor Minds did this, we can do this with them for sure, you know. So
yeah. How do you all navigate working with a close friend?
It's been
Go ahead.
I always like to be honest and transparent about it. Like, it's been a journey, you know what I mean? Having a friend and then starting a business with them is two different things. You could love your friend as your friend, but then when y'all become business partners, it gets a little serious and it gets a little deeper than that. And we always like to say having a business relationship with somebody is like being in a marriage. So it's been times where Lex and I have had rough patches in our friendship, and we still had to show up for work, and we still had to make it look good on camera and make sure that the audience couldn't tell. We've also have had differences of opinions behind the scenes when it comes to how we actually want the business ran. Because I think sometimes that's a misconception that people have with people who are front-facing in media. They don't think it's real business going on behind the scenes. Like, yeah, we're on in front of the camera, but we also are running a legitimate business off camera. Big business off camera. And so it's been times where we didn't see eye to eye with things, and we had to have discussions on it. It's not always easy, but we love each other, and I think we love what we do, and we love what we've built together. So we just have the hard conversations and stay the course.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a marriage. marriage. You know, sometimes you can't stand your husband, but you love your husband. Yeah. I love my bookie.
Yes.
But I think, like, I totally agree with her. And I think we're growing together. So we tend to give each other grace because sometimes we be like, I don't know if this going to work. And I think we've done a good job of separating the friendship and the business. Like, when we're in meetings, it's not like my homegirl. It's a business partner, and I respect her that way. And and we also spend time with each other outside of work as well, which is important too. It's not always just work, work, work. I feel like at the end of the day, no matter what we go through, it's fun. Anytime something goes wrong, I can just rest my head at night knowing that I'm in this with somebody I love and I trust, and I'm not navigating this industry alone.
Right.
Because you see how people treat you or treat you because you're a woman, and then on top of that, you're a Black woman. I'm like, okay, well, at least I got somebody with me, so it doesn't look like I'm just by myself. Like, okay, I got my pit bull with me. You know what I'm saying? So it's so crazy because the episodes that we kind of weren't getting along, they be like, oh my God, this is a great episode. But
they say that all the time.
Actors.
Yeah, we like, girl, we hated each other.
And then the episodes where we're like, and everything is good, they be like, oh, Lex mad today, boy. They must have just got into it.
Yeah, and people tend to forget that we're human. Like, and we have other situations and other things going on in our life outside of each other. But anytime one of us is on the episode and we in a funky mood, or we're not being ourselves, they just assume that we beefing with each other. Girl, why couldn't have been my man?
Right, because that's what
you
it is.
have a whole life.
I have a whole life outside of these. How you know my nail tech didn't mess my nails up? Like, it ain't always about legs.
How you know it won Georgia Power?
Right. Exactly. Girl.
But I love too what you said earlier about having hard conversations. I think that is such an essential skill, and the fact that y'all can do that successfully with each other says a lot, because you can have a hard or attempt to have a hard conversation with somebody and it's gonna go left, and that's gonna be the end of the relationship.
We had one of those.
You know, we did. We did. And it was a great episode.
And that's the thing. I think, like Lex said, you have to give each other grace. Like, we became friends when I was, I think, 23, about to turn 24, and Lex was 20, well, you was probably what, 25?
Yeah,
about to turn 26. So we had just became friends. We were in our 20s trying to figure life out. Now I'm 35. She's about to be 37. We are not those versions of ourselves anymore. We're not even the people that we were when we first met each other. So I think you have to have grace for that. People are growing. Different things have happened in both of our lives that forever has changed us. And you just have to have grace for your friend. A lot of people don't have grace for people.
Now, the tour is coming up. Y'all mentioned this earlier. What are you excited most about for this tour?
I'm really excited to see the poor crew. Like, I feel like when we get to actually touch the people, talk to them, take pictures with them, and feel their energy, it gives me that why, you know, to keep going. And it's like, oh man, we touch so many people. Like I said, I think people just see the clips and they don't get the full effect of like how we have changed people's lives, you know, and just give them a little escape. So I'm really just excited to see the growth too. Like, we're doing bigger venues this time. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, me too. I'm just excited to get back out there and see everybody's face and take pictures and do the meet and greets. Because it's one thing for people to watch us every week, but it's just a different feeling when you get to actually interact with them. So it's been a while. It's been almost 3 years since we went on tour last time. Yeah, it's been a long time. So much has changed with the show. So much has changed with Lex and I. And we really are working hard to make it a real production now, because our old shows used to be lit. Don't get me wrong. The live shows used to be lit, but we just used to be going out there doing whatever. We used to have no plan. Like, we would be in the car on the way to the venue. Okay, girl, this is the topic we gonna talk about.
Today.
Yes. We just used to be turning up, having a good time, and we're still gonna do that, but I definitely wanted to be more of a production this time. So we got some really cool things planned for the audience.
Yes.
Okay.
It ain't gonna be like Renaissance, though. We don't got that kind of budget. This ain't Cowboy Carter.
Y'all ain't gonna have no horse just
I'm not gonna be floating around. I'm not gonna be floating around.
Maybe we'll have a rocking horse on the stage.
Right, there we go. What do y'all think is the most memorable or compelling thing that one of your poor crew has said to you about how the show has impacted their lives?
When we always talk about him all the time.
I was thinking that too.
Oh my God. I had a moment because we were in Detroit. It was our first time in Detroit. And mind you, I had never been to Detroit, so I didn't know what to expect. So at the end of the show, we always take questions and things like that. A guy gets on the mic. He was front row the entire time. And he said that he had cancer. And he just couldn't wait till Fridays. He was like, it would just make me forget what I was going through. He was like, I'm going through chemo. And he was like, y'all just really made me feel like life is worth living. I can laugh again. Like, I'm going to be okay. And then he was like, I'm healthy now. I'm good. And he was like, I could not miss y'all coming here. And I was like, dang, like, we really out here making people feel good. And I think a lot of people do that, though. Come up to us crying and was like, man, I was depressed and I'm having a rough morning. I just needed to watch Poor Minds and it got me through. It made me feel better. And because we talk about mental health a lot too. So I think a lot of people, they just look to us for a good laugh. And that's what makes me feel good. But that guy in particular, I think about him all the time.
Yeah. I think it's that community. People wanting to feel seen and heard. And that goes a long way.
And I still be shocked when people do walk up to us and cry. I be like, girl, you crying over me? Me? That's crazy.
Yes.
But thank you. Give me a hug.
All right. Okay, so y'all are both from Houston, but y'all in Atlanta. So give us some thoughts about which city is the real Black Mecca.
Yeah, we've spent the last 2 years debating whether Atlanta is still the Black Mecca. And one of the cities that always comes up as the top contender is Houston.
Really?
Yes.
Houston is more of a melting pot.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. I don't think we can ever take that away from Atlanta. Atlanta is the Black Mecca because Houston is just, I think people don't realize how huge Houston is. It's so big. Like, it's probably like 5 times the size, maybe even 10 times the size of Atlanta. And there's so many people that live there. So although it is a lot of Black people that are moving there, Houston is still majority like white people.
Yeah,
so,
there's a large Asian community.
And it's a large
there.
Asian community, Indian community.
Yes.
Like, it's very diverse out there. And Atlanta is diverse too, don't get me wrong, but Houston is still very mixed up.
Okay.
And I feel like Atlanta, like, I talk about this all the time. My dermatologist is Black. My dentist is Black. My doctor is Black. Like, it's very, I mean, you can find that in Houston as well, but Atlanta, it's so easy. I feel like there's just like, this is Black Hollywood. Whatever you want to do, you want to audition for a major movie, you can do that out here. This is where we were able to start our podcast and make our dreams come true. So I feel like any Black creative or whatever you're trying to do, Atlanta is the place you need to be to do that for sure. Yeah.
Houston still doesn't have a lot of opportunity for certain things. That was one of the main reasons why we came to Atlanta in the first place, because Houston just doesn't have a lot of opportunity for radio and television, not the way that Atlanta does.
Yeah.
And I don't know that if we would have stayed there, that Poor Minds would have became what it's become.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more question for y'all.
Okay.
How are you all so ATL?
Because I love
Look at his face.
Honestly, I'm so ATL because I love me some wings.
Yes.
Atlanta got the best wings that I have ever had in my life. Like, and I love me a hot lemon pepper, all flats, extra crunchy.
I'm not gonna lie. And my sister, if she watches, she can attest to this. I did not eat chicken with a bone in it.
Oh,
never did until I moved to Atlanta.
I was eating the chicken nuggets.
I mean, I was like a chicken nugget, chicken tender,
boneless.
chicken breast, boneless. I never I don't know what it, like, something about like the grit in it used to kind of bother me in the bone. I never ate, growing up, my mom would go get Popeyes. I'm just eating the sides. Never ate chicken until I moved to Atlanta. I'm like, damn,
I'm telling you.
It's looking kind of crispy.
I ain't never had no wings like that till I moved to Atlanta. And the strip club got the best wings.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say I'm a wing girl now for sure. Like lemon pepper, I love lemon pepper wings.
Yes.
Me too.
Never ate them.
And you feel like I'm in Atlanta, so I got to.
It's an Atlanta
Yeah,
thing.
too.
Like, everybody knows Atlanta for their strip club food, especially the wings. So, I feel like,
Started smoking hookah when I moved here. I don't never had no shisha.
Yeah, because hookah wasn't even really a thing in Houston like that when we moved to Atlanta. Now it's everywhere, just like it is in all of the other cities. But it wasn't even a thing till we moved to Atlanta. And we used to be up in there smoking hookah with them wings.
Oh my gosh.
Every Magic City Monday.
A time was had for sure. Yes.
Well, we done had a time too.
For sure.
Thank y'all so much
Thank
for
you
joining
guys. This
us.
was fun. Thank you so much.
All right, so before we let you go, it's time for Rent Free, where we talk about a story taking up real estate in our minds. And this week, we're talking about something that I know nothing about. Is God Is, the new movie that has recently debuted in theaters. It's an Amazon film, I believe. And why don't you tell us a little bit about it, Naja, since you saw it?
I did see it. I saw it this week after hearing a lot about it in the social media streets. The movie, and Deasia, keep me honest, the movie is about twin Black sisters who are seeking revenge on their abusive father. That's the main premise of it. Mm-hmm. And so the girls, spoilers, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Skip the next 5 minutes or,
Unfortunately, the twins, they were involved in a really traumatic incident when they were younger. Their father was abusive to their mom, and she put out a restraining order against him. He violated it and returned to their home, where he choked her out, the mother, and set her on fire.
Oh.
And the twins were a part of that because they were trying to help their mom as she was burning. And they eventually were, the mom, she pretended like she was dead. Right. So they didn't hear from their mother until after they were adults. And they went to visit her. And she asked them to go find their daddy and kill him and get revenge on him. That was her dying wish. So the movie explores the girls on the journey to find their dad and get some revenge going.
Mm-hmm. And the mom is played by Vivica A. Fox, and the dad is played by Sterling K. Brown, which is a different role for him as a villain. And he was very convincing in that role, do you think?
Absolutely. Because in the film, we also, for the majority of the film, just see his mouth. We don't see his eyes until the end of the movie. And he also changes his voice, which I thought to be interesting. I didn't know if that was his choice or was it written like that or if it was our director's choice. But I always feel a little pain when an actor I really enjoy plays a villain, because I'm thinking of like This Is Us and watching him in interviews, seeming to be just a lovely human being in paradise. He's a hero. And here you go, being the worst human being possible.
No, I didn't realize that this was a play initially.
Yes.
So what have you seen it? Yeah.
Yes, I have. So it's directed by Alicia Harris, a playwright. So this film was originally a play. You can kind of tell by like watching it, because there are a lot of like, okay, so the twin sisters, they communicate like, I don't know how to explain it.
Telepathically?
No.
Oh. I'm just making up
they use
movie.
dialogue in the film, like text on the screen, to show that they are communicating with each other instead of like talking to each other sometimes. So that's like, okay, that's like, I feel like that's a very play thing to do.
And then to add to that, I saw moments where they were breaking the fourth wall, talking directly to the audience, which felt kind of theatrical to me. Yeah. Or sometimes the way they would exaggerate words or scenes felt very theatrical to me. There's a scene when Vivica A. Fox, the mother, is getting her hair braided, and the twins ask, "What happened? Why did we end up burnt like this?" And the women braiding their hair go, "Child." I mean, it's extended for seconds, and that just felt dramatic to me, and that fit like a theater kind of setting. Yeah, exactly. And even when they were retelling the dramatic stories, you have the actors narrating the story, but in the past, if that makes sense. So it's like a flashback scene, but you hear them telling it as if they're not a part of it. I don't even know if I'm explaining it right, but yeah.
Got it.
It's interesting. I mean, throughout the film, what really stood out to me, it really centers Black female rage. And I think it also highlighted the depths at which poor male behavior is just coddled and how people are complicit. And I feel like the movie kind of came at a great time, because now we're talking about, Black femicide. I mean, obviously, even in Atlanta, there was a woman, stabbed, right? While
on the Beltline.
Yeah. And then there was another woman stabbed recently in Decatur by a man. So I think it really came at an opportune time when we're having these discussions of male violence and how society kind of conditions that.
So do we recommend this?
Oh,
I
yes.
completely recommend the movie. What I also liked is that it was just different. I hadn't seen a story told like this before. And we talk about this all the time about wanting to see a variety of Black stories. And I think this kind of strange out there highlighting trauma was a good way of getting at that, because even though we were seeing some awful things on the screen, there were moments of humor, moments of relatability, moments of like extreme Blackness that you feel proud to see on the big screen. So I love that aspect of it. And I also thought it was interesting, or I think it highlighted the different ways people process trauma, because the twin girls, they experienced the same traumatic event, but they were processing it in very different ways. Yeah. So one girl expressed it through her anger and her rage, and the other twin was quieter and softer, and she seemed more empathetic in ways. So they both got burnt up by their daddy, saw their dad try to kill their mother, but had very different reactions to it as they grew up.
I thought it was interesting, the headline in Deadline, May 22nd, Is God Is writer director doesn't want to be seen as poor man's Tarantino.
Oh. Well, there are parallels, because I did mention that Vivica Fox is in it, and she was in, the Kill Bill series. So you can kind of see parallels between, which Tarantino directed. You can see parallels between Kill Bill and this film for sure. But if that's your main takeaway, then I think you're missing a lot to her point. Yeah. So
nice. All right. Well, I'll either see it or I'll wait until it comes on Amazon. Possibly, that's the speculation, is that it will stream on Amazon. But we'll see in a month or so.
All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today. Until next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to It's UATL. UATL is a source for Black culture and community in Atlanta, powered by the Atlanta Journal-Constitution and its supporters. The show is hosted by Nedra Roan, Deasia Page, and me, Naja Parker.
If you liked the episode, be sure to follow us and leave us a rating and review. It really helps. It's UATL wouldn't be possible without our lead producer, Isabel Kirby McGowan, and producer Kara Schillen. Extra support from Ron Williams. Our executive producer is Gavin Godfrey. Megan Nadolski is our senior producer, and Samantha Stamler is the head of audio.
Special thanks to Janelle Davis, the managing editor of UATL for the AJC. Want more UATL? Be sure to join the community at uatl.com. See you next week.